They took a vegetable in Bakersfield, an organic lettuce, picked it up, washed it, tested it. 32 minutes later, 50% of the nutrients were gone. So how about the lettuce you're getting here 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later from California? They're condiments, people. But if I have a jar and I don't even have money of seeds in my room, I can grow year-round dynamically nutritious food, even when it's in the middle of a snowstorm outside. Get back to the basics, people. Even those of us who think we're earth mothers and earth fathers, we're not. We're estranged from it. We've had it too good for so long in this country. We're push babies. We're puff daddies. This is a real puff daddy. We have a lot of puff around us. And we don't get back. We don't see the simple things anymore. We always have gloriosity, as I call it, around us. We create all the ornaments, but we don't know where the hell the tree is anymore. Look at those beautiful ornaments. There they are. They're all there. Now, where's the tree? We don't know. Where's the core of the tree? Where's your core? What's your belief? What's your passion? What are you here for? You're here to struggle, suffer, then I'm going to get sick, I'm going to get old, I'm going to die, oh, it's horrible. Are you here to have a hell of a good time every minute of your life? Because people who are having a good time are contributors. People who are not having a good time are vacuum cleaners. And not only vacuum cleaners, some of them stick the damn thing up your ass and drain it. I mean, it's endless, endless, endless. What you want to do is, you want to be able to be so incredibly enthusiastic about your life that you're spewing happiness. I'll never forget, most of you aren't old enough to remember, when I was a kid, there were 3 television channels, ABC, NBC, CBS, and TVs were really odd. They were these wooden boxes with a little round thing, a little tiny round thing here that looked like a fishbowl. And television wasn't on all day long and all night long like it is now. You'd have it on certain times of the day. And I remember my mother would be watching television in the 50s, and I'd come home, and this one really weird channel, I don't know what it was, CBS or ABC, had Jack LaLanne on it. Yeah. And Jack LaLanne used to be wearing a full leotard that was green. This guy freaked me out, because again, I hadn't figured my sexuality out at that point yet. I said, whoa, what's this guy? And basically, you know, he's hanging over the back of a chair screaming, no! No! This guy was 50, 60, 100 years ahead of his time.
Color TV then?
No, color TV. What are you kidding me? This was black and white.
It looks green to me.
It was green. I know it was green. He was wearing that thing until 1988. And I've never heard that man say a negative thing. Never. About 15 years ago, I'm in New York City. I'm coming off the stage as he's coming up to lecture. He grabs my hand. I hadn't talked to him in a number of years, maybe 10. He looked at me in the eye. He asked me how each of my children were by name and my wife, and I was struggling to remember his wife's name. That's what happens when you live at the maximum level and you spew. And in 1950 on black and white TV, you're screaming at the top of your lungs, trying to get through to just a handful of people who are conscious enough to be what? Human. And everyone else said, he's odd, he's strange, he's weird, he's queer, he's on and on. We always name people negative things when we don't live at high levels. That's what prejudice is. That's what hatred is. That's what war is. You think this stuff is real? It's not real. It's negative perception of who? You don't talk down or look down at anyone else until you are down. Recognize that. You have to be pretty low to point fingers and to call people names. What that means is you have a major deficiency. Major, 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 major deficiency. Anything you hate, I assure you, is about you. Because we are all things. We are everything. There's nothing but you, people. But if you don't get that, if you don't fully engage, understand it, buy it, and live it, you're always going to have that little crack that lets you slip out and divert your attention from who you should be spending it on. Who is that? Yourself. Now, you're going to say, well, isn't that selfish? No, self-love isn't selfish. Gandhi, self-love. The best example in the 20th century of self-love. Those of you that purport you're Christians, Christ. perfect example. Those that purport you're Jews. Moses, perfect examples of completely self-responsible people. When you are at that level that Martin King was, the night before he dies, he said, I won't reach that mountain with you, but you will. You understand? Wouldn't it be nice to be at that place where you feel so confident about everything you do that you are living at 100% level, so it doesn't matter if you die today, tomorrow, or the next day? That you're there. Because all life is always the same. It's never inconsistent. And even our lifespans are just a small part of the continuum of life. Recognize that we get so caught up in our concerns and our problems and our negativities. We're always thinking, oh, it's so problematic. Oh, I'm sick. What am I going to do? I'm going to die. The doctor, and the reality is 100 years from now, nobody will even remember who you are. Get over it. Get over it. You're everything and you're nothing at the same time. Now, if your ego is small, you're not going to want to hear me say you're nothing. But it's liberating to be nothing and everything, isn't it? If you're nothing and everything, you're all things at all times. You don't have to be anything other than yourself. And you don't have to be pretentious. You don't have to be calculating. You don't have to be intellectual. You can be instinctual. And instinctual is what we want. Oh, savages are instinctual, yes. And we should be more like savages.